Whoa. I've got no bass or no game audio. There we go. Okay. So after playing yesterday and realizing, you know, the bass isn't exactly as efficient as it should, I figured today we can look at the bass itself and kind of rebuild it, make it maybe a little more efficient. It's going to be a little bit of a chill day on that. Not as much exploration, but a lot of base building. So if you're into the base building side of it, then you can watch me just bungle it up even further. Right. Yeah. Oh, creepy. Yeah, so this game is made by Creepy Jar for anybody who's curious about it. You can get it on Steam, early access. There we go. Okay. That's sorted out. Got that sorted out. Now, without further ado, let's go into the game. So off stream, I played a little bit with getting the factory system set up a little bit better, creating like a main bus where fabricators and furnaces and everything else can kind of pull resources from universally, and that was like okay. Not happy with it, but it worked out. So right now I have furnaces, fabricators, a couple of smelters. The smelters lead into kind of a connected main bus channel, one being titanium, one being copper mordite at the moment. And then the fabricators can pull from, you know, our vast storage pile of resources, and they can fabricate whatever I need them to, which works, but it's a little crazy. And you know, I've had to get a little creative with path here because it really starts blocking up everything at this part right here. It kind of comes in and then feeds to these two main storage units that I can pull my resources that I need to do research on from. So there's some logic to it. It's just limited in its capability at the moment. So I figured what I can do is, you know, each fabricator has two connections. This can turn into a multi-rail instead of having
Rupture activity
kind of
detected.
single rail
I recommend finding a safe
system
place.
going on per. And the one thing that I need to figure out is really how to get these guys to be able to also pull calcium blocks from a 3-part multi-rail without having to slim it down into one. But it may not be that big of a deal. It's just like, you know, one type per, but I'd like 3 fabricators that run 3 different types of fabrication. Basically a string for mordite, string for titanium, and a string for calcium. That's kind of the idea that I want to get to. Right now we're working on getting the titanium housing. The titanium housing will get us down to, oh gosh, what were we trying to figure out here? It was that in the tubes. so we can build something. Oh god, I forget what I was trying to build. Well.
Raptura's core is unstable. Head to safety immediately.
Rail 5 storage. We don't really have something that's like a switch.
Noise detected. Planet is being incinerated.
Expand out through the demands. So right now we're working on getting down to things like the mega press and the large habitat. I'm not worried about the extractor. I'm worried about following that because I'm pretty sure we need a bunch of these to be able to terraform, like build up this guy. Power cell, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. We're trying to make this power cell, get inductor, glass, titanium housing so we can build the power cell. Then we can take the power cell, go to the terraformer. So we're close. It's not there yet. That's very hot.
Planetary temperature within acceptable parameters.
These, yeah, we need, I'm trying to also get these done as well. So that requires the glass, the inductor, and the titanium housing as well. So, yeah. Getting these things to craft efficiently would be extremely useful for a lot of that.
I can use that.
Tubes, what we've been working on. This, nice. Of titanium rods. Now we just need a bunch of titanium sheets. Bunch of beams. Okay. Beams researched. Yeah, so it's the sheets that we really need to focus on. So as far as the beams go, what do we need to be able to make the beams? I don't think it's these guys at all. This guy's going to be like ceramics, glass, and the housing itself. The inductors, so the fabricators are the main focus here. The beams, titanium bars. We need to kind of double up titanium sheet production, I think. So we just need to go get a bunch of titanium. Get the sheet production going. Hold on to the rods. Grab some titanium. And I also am going to try and get some mortite so we can build out this bus a little bit. we also leveled up survival through that like crazy plant farming that we did. Use the aliens for that. The aliens are actually really good. So in this round, we'll go upgrade the aliens, get the titanium weapon. I'm rebuilding the factory. See this guy in enough of a way. Blasted in there. Over there, we got that guy. Kind of do like this full loop. It usually fills up the inventory pretty quick. It's not that long of a loop. Depends on where these things land. Sometimes they land in exactly the same spots, so there's clearly like spawn locations that they come from. At the same time, it's not the same spots every time. So a little bit of random generation on. So glad I upgraded the mining damage. A lot of ignitium as well. Look. Never know, there might be one under there. There is. The damage increase, I would probably just I'm not actually maxed out to where I have to. Got this drone. What? Plants are burned away. I'm surprised they don't have at least one of those weird little bulbous fungus-like plants there. Yeah, it was a loud bang. Back the other way, but grab it anyway.
Ruptura status stable. Arcadia status stable.
Sometimes you get ambushed. Like you.
Grenade! I need to survive.
Oh, okay. Guy right here. Assuming by the density of that guy. Oh. Oh. Ouch.
Fire in the hole.
Oh, right in the crater. Oops. process this material and then see what we can create and research. Primarily titanium plates. Sheets.
Enemy pacified. Come here. For a second. Solid. Okay. These guys. Sweet. So we do need it to create the duct. We don't need it like otherwise. So we'll start filling stores. Which is pretty sweet. That holdup is. Let's send this.
Pretty close. Sheets as well. Okay. Tubes. We're halfway done. Towards the tubes. Glass is. Titanium housing is fine. We need calcium powder for glass. Aerial view of this to kind of get an idea of what. Okay, so this is our storage area. This is where we pull resources, goes through the smelter, and then continues down into the production units. And I'm thinking one production line raw resource. Don't know that helium gets mixed into anything. It's just calcium, titanium, wolfram, so helium can be a secondary stored resource.
Let's see.
Close. Okay, so one production line. Maybe more. What if we do? Shit. Get rid of these guys. Okay. So we have the 3 raw resources here. We can start with that and some smelters. So each of these resources we want to make sure that we can split out into one smelter per resource, 2 smelters maybe. Start with 1. Let's keep it really basic, but leave space for 2, I guess. So, smelters. So, tricky thing here is with the size of everything. Maybe we don't need.
Gotcha.
This much storage because I don't know that I'm ever going to produce that much. I have excess at the moment. So if we kick these smelters back. Spot. Too wide. To make it. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. See why I did that. I'm gonna write this out in my head. Paper. So I can
picture what I'm trying to do here. So we have one, maybe two storage units. Connected together. Then we need to go up to 3 smelters in case. Probably just one for now. So that'll be a smelter. Then needs to go to a main bus that any of the fabrication devices can demand something from. So we have the setup now. Storage. And from the smelters it goes onto a main line. One per type. So a multi-rail. Then goes to the other guys. So interestingly enough, I don't have enough inventory space for all that. Just gonna be a bunch of that on the ground. A bunch of that on the ground. And this is where we actually will have probably more. What can be stored. Let's push the storage back. This is just about all of the wall. Nice. Okay. So, 2 things of storage is how we'll start. Then we'll run well, so we want to spread these out. So like the titanium, I want to make enough space for 3 smelters on each side. So even the calcium, I want storage depots to be 3 wide, because that'll be equal to the smelters. Why can't that? There we go. So 1 smelter. Let's do it this way. 1 smelter can go here. That's 4 wide, and that's 3 wide. So that's 1 smelter. This would be another one. That one would need to step up. Okay. Now we can run into this. Right. Now that's so these solar panels here have to be removed. We don't make enough space for this other storage depot. Okay. So we'll Say this is titanium. Right, so we'll put titanium. We'll say this is calcium. Just because we don't have the inventory space to pull from, and we'll put the calcium. Put the calcium here. Okay. So that is the calcium. That lines up to the smelter. So we take the rail. Okay, you go here. Feed into that. And then here. For now. Oh no, you know what? I'm missing something. The multi-rail. Which needs to not do that. Multi-rail. There we go. Pulls out there. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm getting. That's okay. Because the multi-rail, actually, all of this needs to kind of shift over. Man. Different. Oh yeah, because I pushed it back. The fine-tuning. The fine-tuning process. Okay, so multi-rail should really go back here. Probably. Boxes there. So multi-rail would essentially might be like a few back, like that. And the rails should go actually, yeah, feed all three. We're not going to do that yet. In that particular way, leave this rail here. That works out really well. And we will put initial storage unit. That's going to be, let's say, calcium. Or how about wolfram? Okay. Rail. There. 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 And for now, just take this guy. And we'll use these other smelters because we're just really fast
capacity for it. Really don't have production capacity. I think at some point we will have to start using extractors. We'll see. So the next one, that would be like 3 more smelters. So I think instead of making a bunch of smelters, kind of work on this, like 1, 2, 3. Just connecting. Where is it connecting? It's not ideal, is it? Can I do shallow stairs? Feel the steepness of this. Yeah, it's probably a good idea too. This extended degree of separation. Yeah, probably won't even allow it to be made, to be honest. It's gonna be in the hill. Need to be even higher. So probably factor of 2, which is what these stairs are. That would probably be allowed. Then there's platform, support platform. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah, supported platform is what I was trying to do. Oh, but with the raise of 2, you would need stairs anyway. And probably need it again, to be honest. Let's see. Do supported platform on 1. That put us. This is well in the hill. Yeah. So it would be factor 2 again. Interesting. Supported platform it is.
Dehydrated.
Alright. Speaking in ones. Right, so on and so forth. So these would be the 3, this would be 2, this would be mid, this is the second guy. So then 2. So the platform would go out 2. And there's an even cooler way that all the way up like that. Then there it would be storage depots. What? Yep. This would be like titanium ore, for example. Really wide spread. But that's essentially what that would be. So for now, what we'll do is we will run screw it. That's actually, that gets all the way to the cliff edge, which is kind of crazy. This would go up. Oh, I don't think it needs to go up a factor of 2. It would just go up a factor of 1. Just make this anyway. Yeah. Drop this down one. It's huge. Yeah, the next guy would just may be able to just chill here, to be honest. Have we step up again? We got a smelting line. These platforms here do something fun like an extending walkway. Instead, cool. You're connected. Power via railway. Should work. It's fine. Does this say power? We can shut these off because we don't really use them yet. Or should we just leave them on and just add power? It'd be fun just to this absolute buttload of wolf power. So this would go here. This would go here. This would go there. Pulls out of a single source. For this, let's go here. Go.
Dehydrated.
Go. Oh. Whoops. There. Oh, I one extra. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 extra. Would go there. I think the other way to do it would be to have instead of wolfram there and titanium there, we would have calcium on this other side and then add that to the other side of the rail on this side. So an example here would be, let's build the multi-rail system. This is where we end up with some limiting factors, I think. So we've got like, guy goes there, right? This guy goes there. This guy goes there. But to be honest, it's probably best to have each of these guys at the third closest. Maybe even rotate it. See, that's the thing. So, multi-rail per, I guess. Yeah, it probably should be these larger platforms. Just to get more space. Consistency. Forward. Thank you. Maybe one more. This is doing weird as hell. That's 3 main buses of production. We're getting in over our heads. Guys may be a little bit too far to reach that. Possibly. Or not. Okay. This guy's right behind the rock. So that's a problem. Maybe able to get it to go
I'm
up over.
detecting increased Ruptura activity. Prepare for a wave.
Maybe? Mid to mid. Being weird. Why is it being super weird?
If I don't drink something soon, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Tasty.
Why is the calorie bar do 90 hydration bar? I think only does like 40 or 30. It's a very small amount. I don't think the base's heat capacity is anywhere near overwhelmed either. Funny thing is, we still have power. We have enough power.
StarRupture's eruption has started. Prepare for impact.
Burst away.
Extreme temperature detected.
There's some green platforms. Interesting. That shows up. Some green platforms. My headset conveniently dying, and my cord doesn't want to be accessible. Gotta love it. Okay. I think we just hump over that hill there. It should be okay. We'll just fit everything into that spot.
Planetary temperature
Maybe
returning
direct
to
it
normal.
around it because that goes really wide. Okay. Well, that's not something I considered. Yeah, so that goes really, really wide. It kind of collects into there. Bypass right there is actually probably better. Smelter. I think. Right. Works. Works. Okay. Then we got a couple of platforms out. Right. Couple out. Couple of platforms out. Rail. Then the storage depots. Like that. Okay, that's some rough ass terrain.
Not the best place to build a base, but hey, we'll make do with it. We'll make do with it. Okay. So, other thing that I was thinking about was we really need to store a really good thing to do is to maybe pre-build all the material into its correct components. So we have these 3 rails, right? They need to go down into another storage depot. Sounds a little crazy, but hear me out. These storage depots will store the ingots and the powders and whatever else. Blocks. Then all of that gets turned into ingots and powders and stuff. I wonder if it's possible once this goes to connect here. It is. May look cool, may not be functional. Who knows? Technically, if it lets it connect, it will function, even if the trains look weird. Or may not even go down that route. I noticed that even though the trains look like they are held up, numbers, or they don't even go to a storage unit, they still actually technically kind of go to it. So this would be like calcium, right? And then that one would be, what do we have over here? It's wolfram, so that's titanium. So this is not actually like calcium. This would be like calcium block, right? This would be titanium bar, and then this guy would be wolfram. Is it wolfram powder? I don't know. Wolfram bars. There it is. Wolfram bars, right? Wire, it's bar block. Then furnace is also bar block. And then some sheets, which is kind of interesting, and powder. But we'll get to that. This at least gives us the ability to pull demand from storage units. So the other thing that I want to do is get rid of all of this infrastructure here and reimagine it. So, storage depot. It really does not like to pull closely in at all, which is kind of irritating. Almost just eradicated the power. Super big deal. That's a big deal. Would suck. Okay, so thinking. I almost want to draw one of these over into this other storage unit so that it's not a funnel. So an example would be like this goes around to this instead, right? So we have two. Both of these are filling up at the same time, just in case we need to bypass that sugar as they fill up. So calcium block, titanium bar. This would be wolfram. Okay.
Another thing that we may be able to do with that is like maybe bypass that, but it kind of gets in the way. So it kind of doesn't use that part of the storage process, but at the same time, that is going to become the choke point demand is going through. It may also be a good idea just to have a bypass that can go around the storage if the storage ends up being a choke point. Let's see how that kind of functions. The next goal was to extendable walkway, right? We have platform here, which is fine, and then the extendable walkway we can put on the side, and then that's our walkway.
I feel
The
stronger.
Raptura is in its stable stage. The climate of Arcadia is returning to normal.
Then I want fabricator per type. Fabricator can take 2 different resources at once. Yeah, we have furnace, we have fabricators. So fabricators take 3. I want them to be able to deliver to that. Gosh. I think probably come in here. That puts it straight in the rock, doesn't it? Just above it. I'll have to see. So like this fabricator here can be wolfram bar and titanium. Right. Ooh, yeah, okay. I see the problem here. Thing is then you can't use the storage for any other fabricator. So what we have to do is run.
Arcadia 7 has finished regenerating.
God. Essentially these in front of each fabricator? Maybe? Twice? That probably works. So if we do 1 for each of that. Separate it. The fabricators may need to actually move further out. Well, that's not what I wanted. Ported platform. Manually do it.
Okay. It's not connected. Alright, whatever. So the idea here is a rail connector twice. That. This is probably completely unnecessary. 1, 2, 3. No, we don't need. Oh yeah, but we're gonna demand 2. Well, you can only work on 1 at a time. Okay. So yeah. We only need 1 rail connector. Because what we can do is I'm looking right at it. There you go. Do this. That is, why is that banking so ferociously that direction? But I wasn't anticipating it like banking like absolutely crazy. Can we get it to chill out like right here? Yeah, okay. And there. This guy will probably need to come out here and chill there, maybe. Come over there. Yeah, it's gonna get tied up in that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Varying levels of height to deal with that. Making it overly complicated, but why is that like deleting all of that? I just want to delete this one thing. Why did that delete that? Ay, 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 man. Let's get this guy hooked up. Let's deal with the rest of that bullshit. This would go, say, here. This would go there. This would go there. That's all those guys. Now, this other guy. Competing heights here. So now we're gonna go. So there's not enough connections to do this. Which makes sense. There. This guy. There. That pulls in all 3 there. Okay, so the bypass here is not because I use this other side.
isn't right. If we have this, this, there. Way less like crisscross going on. There's immediately a crisscross going on. It looks smoother, but it doesn't function. So we're gonna crisscross this guy. Goes there. This guy goes. Okay, this worked for a second. What am I doing? This guy goes down. Thinks that guy goes across. Okay. Okay. So that guy goes there. This guy can go down to here. That guy go down to there. Except we're looking at a crisscross issue here. Where those can't go together. So how is this set up? Left went left. Middle went right. Here middle's gone left. But that works. So then left's gone left again. So then this guy may be able to go back to the top. Let's see. So this guy has to make it over to here somehow. Which we're real close. But there's a crisscross there. But if we can get it to drop down here, maybe we can get it to show up over there. Get it to stay dropped. Okay. Then we can get that guy to maybe I don't know. There. We're ending up with kind of tied up issue again. Yeah, chaos. Yeah, now it's even more complicated than ever. So we're connected there. We're connected there. We're not connected. Okay, we're connected there. We're connected there, and we're connected here. Okay, we're connected there, we're connected there, and we're connected there. So that's yeah, that works. We're fabricating. That doesn't work great. We'll have to like multi-rail it, I think, into here. Except it actually should be. goes up there. Can't really do differently. Okay. Good boy. Okay. Checking my dog. You never know how he's doing. It's been a rough several days. Okay, we got that storage there. We've got this storage here. And the idea would be to maybe create another storage. But now it's all separated out. So that's good. Because one of the biggest issues was that it was like super weird and really tied down. So we have that input that's going there, this input going there, and we have this input going there. Store 3 different things. Limit to how that is going to work, because I would have to tie everything up together the right way. Is there a way to kind of not have to choose a specific item? Doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, yeah, all right, that's not going to work that way. The 3-rail system there will work. But we need to consolidate these 3 resources together and then send it back out on the right path. So yes, this is where like a switchboard would be great, because then you could have like a 3-rail system like this, where it doesn't have to come down into a single path. Okay. I think this is gonna have to be the course of action. Junction or 3-1 work. 3-to-1 rail modulator looks cleaner. That looks way cleaner. So it'll probably get locked up with things. At minimum, we can get these running. At least. Okay, so an extendable walkway can go
super necessary to do it that way, but it works. Now the rails. This guy goes to the closest rail. It goes to mid, and bar goes to far. Okay. Now, and go calcium blocks, calcium blocks, calcium blocks. I want titanium bar, titanium bar, titanium bar. I want wolfram, wolfram, and wolfram. Okay, so now these should start creating wolfram bars. These would start creating titanium bars. Shit. We don't have titanium. Okay. Sides here. 'Cause it's jump down. It's gonna be in the butt. Just do simple walking across all these. That. Go there. Filling up the wolfram bars right now. We don't have titanium. And this we'll need to put our calcium storage into here. Okay. Now we've got that figured out. Bit of storage that we need to deal with is our helium. Which is required for something. But it doesn't need to be smelted down, so it falls into the storage line here. Here. So there's titanium sheets here, but we can do like, I want titanium whatever's there. And here I want like, I don't know, calcium powder, something that we need. Right, so we've got 3 demands: sheets, beams, and powder. So we need tubes, so nice. We've got enough sheets for tubes. That's really good. Okay, so we've gotten the tubes figured out. Plates. Ooh. Furnace, we need titanium housing, so now we need beams and sheets and calcium powder and tubes and ceramics. Sheets, beams, powder. So right now we're demanding sheets, beams, and powder. Let's say that's sheets, right? This would be beams. This would be tubes, but can't really do that, so maybe calcite sheets, for example. I don't want to use up calcium at the moment because I really need it for powder. Yeah, so this is where where I kind of have to figure out, okay, something crazy like this works for these guys, but then we also have furnaces. That also need to produce. So the furnaces, I think, should go on the other side of these rocks here. Ways. There's just one. I suppose. Furnace, and furnace. 3 of 3. And in reality, say it, but this is the worst system. I had a little bit of fun with it. It's not going to work out. We have I think a way to bypass that may be a good idea. To bypass the storage. So I think storage bypass is a great idea. We're gonna have to kind of like sort that out. So this rail modulator. Start. So we really should do. Man, it really has trouble identifying me looking at that. It's pretty good, but then it also struggles pretty bad as well. So we've got those, but we should also run a bypass of all three. What's weird is the rails, like, I don't know, it's very, very strange. So the bypass should go in one, and then the other three should go in the other. Bypass can go just right there, bud. There you go. See, the bypass needs to be backwards. Yeah, we just need a lot more space, I think. Bypass should run low. Bypass here. Running really low on the system. This guy here needs to kind of out and around to that bypass. Right here. This guy should come around there, but wants to play. So how can we get it to function? The answer is this turns into a 3x3, which causes an issue there. So we get rid of this, we get rid of this. We turn this storage into a 3x3, like that. And then
which isn't a big deal. We can do that. Storage here. Just be like we drop it there. No. This here. Got this here. Oh yeah, it does junctions, so the bypass is only going to work on one unit. Maybe we could do a bypass off of no. Do a bypass off of this guy. To be honest. 'Cause this left. Bypass can always be right or center. That opens those up to bypass. Possible. Let's do that too. Should be it's a little cumbersome on the building side of things as well. Yeah, so that's a problem. That immediately becomes a problem. Let's get these guys
Dehydrated.
properly built up. Go one step further. There you go. Jesus. Very combative. Very, very combative. This works until it doesn't. That. Oosh. I still think a bypass is important. At least into this other storage unit. But yeah, it really doesn't consolidate supplies. What was that colliding with? Why does that work fine, but then this one doesn't? What is that? Okay. So the bypass over there. Come on. Why does it decide that it wants to curl inward like that? Because of the solar panel right here? Because of the corner. The tower. Fuck, man. Such a long fall and you can't get back up. Well, here's what we can do. We can get rid of the tower for now. Plunk. Bye-bye. All gone. Okay. We can even get rid of probably a whole line of solar panels here.
go. Now we can sort this out a little bit better. So this could probably make it out to there. Nope, wants to continue to curl in. Why? Who knows? Let's get rid of this guy and that guy and see if that's what it's reading is needs space. Nope, it's just still choosing to curl in. Why? Nobody knows. The other one had no issue. Ah, I see. It's off center. So for the 3 rail, we need it to be like to the left of the storage unit. Left of the storage unit, like, nope. That's the wrong orientation. Not sure why you would orient yourself that way. One forward. There you go. Perfect. Bypass and bypass. Alright, now that's all making sense. Furthest to furthest, mid to mid, and that to that. Okay, goodness me. Oh. Not sure why you would have done that. Ah, there you go. There you go.
Dehydrated.
Be alright there, killer. Off center, but that's okay. That's enough solar panels to actually power all this. That's pretty cool. Oh gosh. Okay. So now we've got, nope, that's what it would be like the bypass. This is it. This goes into there. This guy connects to there. That guy connects to there. Okay, this one we're looking at Wolfram. Titanium, calcium block, okay. Hey, look at that. We got a titanium bar. Or titanium ore. Raw ore. So this furnace we can... Or, fabricator we can dump. And I think we need to move the fabricators much, much closer. Or, closer to the main building. Move walkway here, connects us to everything going on. Fabricator's probably... kind of wondering if we should run the bus over here and have furnaces and fabricators. Okay. Kind of in a different setting. So, multi-rail.
Rupture activity detected. I recommend finding a safe place.
Maybe rail modulator. 2 rail modulators. Let's see. We've got 2 spots. We could technically run that and then run 3 spots out with 3 modulators, different heights that go to 3 process lines. So they can demand kind of any 3. So like one would be super tall here. Another one, well, wouldn't be able to be that tall. So one would be like super low, ground level almost. Here. And one would be tall there. That's a lot of work. Okay.
Ruptura's core is unstable. Head to safety immediately.
Oh, we're safe.
Warning. Stratum is being incinerated.
That's doing that. How many slots do we have? We have 1 survival slot. So I think survival is here. Health, hydration, calories after. I don't care about that. Natural calorie loss. Not too worried about that. Toxicity intake. Not too worried about that at the moment. Combat consumable type item loss and death. Not too worried about that. Not that. Max health may be nice. Heat corrosion, drain, build-up rate. What I have right now, it's harvester mining damage. Yeah, so heat corrosion.
Huh. Nice.
Build-up rate. That's what we want to add on to here.
Perfect.
Planetary temperature within acceptable parameters.
Yeah. Just the platform. Anywho, yeah, so we could do 3 and not do a bypass. So like, this guy feeds the main storage unit, for example. Instead of bypassing this here, and then these 3 can go into the different height levels. That guy goes there. That guy goes there. This guy would go to a third, for example. So, look, that's one space. I don't know. One space is enough. I think we need to do something like this, where there's at least 2 spaces in between each of these. Thing is that is not high enough to make it over. We could probably push this over a little bit. 2 spaces to this guy. Here. And then 2 spaces. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Real problem there. The slipperiness of highly textured rocks leaves much to be desired at the nicest way that I can put it. Okay. I don't know how it's not stable. We do like a supported platform. I don't know, let's say like it right there, man. There you go. Jesus. There you go. Maybe now we can raise it higher? It's still not high enough, and I don't know what it would take to support it further. Maybe if we do like steps? Or if we push it forward a little bit? Let's actually, we stagger it. So it's here, but there. Yeah, that will work. So then this would go into an option of 2 things. A fabricator. And a furnace. And that's 1 production row. Okay. Then, yeah, okay, so this would need to be even wider than that. This guy would need to go further than that. So this guy would need to go like dude, fuck this rock area, man. This thing is a damn nightmare. Holy crap. Okay, no more ridiculous sliding. build this first train, then let's figure out how we can build the other trains next to it. Oh. So this guy would then need to go there, and then this guy would then need to go there. Okay, that's the first train. Runs into here, right? Access to all three. Then, then we go. Probably one over. Go there. Then we can go there. This rail is here, there. Just connect. I'd rather do the middle connection. Middle. There you go. Jesus. And that. Right. So then they can demand anything that they want out of here. We can make two things at once. And we have three options to do it from. That's the idea. It's not the best, but I think it'll work. Then, from there, we need to create a collection system. There's like ledges, like clear ledges that are just smooth. Can you tell it's irritating? No, don't get rid of that. So we need a collection system then. We can bypass all that. Right. So then we've got this rail that can go here. This rail that can go there. And now we can collect all of that and we can take it down to the far area. And that's a single train production there, ideally. Now, if we want to, like, I don't know, make sheets, we can make sheets. If we need to make calcium powder, make calcium powder. This will make its happy little way over here. And do that. We'd even argue that even need this, but it's not going to add time, I don't think. That takes the calcium powder, takes it all the way over here. We're going to have a lot of calcium powder.
Ruptura status, stable.
Scared.
Arcadia status, stable.
Don't need that many whatevers. One thing that we do need is helium. As another source that needs to be sorted out in another way. So we have these other entrances here. So I think that create another series of storage pods, right, that are a little separate. Can we actually storage pod helium. And the helium can run straight into the system. It can be piped straight into the system like that. And then the other thing, we may have finished products that we can then pipe into the other parts of this system. The helium will be the first one. Piped into there. Maybe that'll frickin' do it. Okay. That is the most overly complicated way to build it. Oh, Gojo Warrior. Hey, sorry. Didn't see that. I didn't see your comment until just now. I am doing all right. Just a little mind blown about how to try and create this kind of thing. Sorry for the delay in that response. But it's so focused on trying to solve this problem. It's not really a problem at the moment. I am having fun kind of putting this base together, but how are you doing today? Let me make sure that I got my chat up in a more prominent way so I can see you guys chat. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's a start. So now we're making the powders. Which we need. Grab this. And let's see. That. Get rid of that. Costs 10 build to make an extendable walkway. Yes, it does. And it's worth every penny. Stairs. Down. And safety barriers. Safety is important. All around these guys that we don't keep falling off the freaking thing. Can't put a safety barrier on the walkway for some reason. Not sure why. You can just walk right off. We'll get rid of this. But platforms. You know what? I might actually do like stairs going down this way too. Just to have an extra way of going down. Oh man. Okay. So this got the tubes. No. It's gonna be the furnace. Glass. Nice. So we don't need calcium powder anymore as far as research goes, but I think to make the glass we need it. So that tried myself. We should have a walkway that goes down there, I think. Dude, what do we do like a cool little walkway? Ramp is too steep. But seems to connect just fine. Support a platform, I guess. Do stairs down this way, I guess. Just walk over. And stairs set up. Walk over here. Tubes. This. Okay. So do we have set titanium sheets? Yeah, I think we still need sheets, a fair amount of them. Let's turn this off for a second.
Ah, yeah. Here's the glass. Let's turn this on. Unavailable items. Yeah. So this is where this is where like a finished product like the calcium be good to have like a storage depot. Yeah. We'd have to offset the storage depots. I don't think it's too big of a deal though. And this rail goes to here, and this rail would go to there. And this would be calcium powder. This would be calcium powder. Right, we got helium. And a lot more solar generators. This is where we start creating the insane solar farm again. I know it's colliding with another building. I don't know what it takes to get it to move one block forward, but it's apparently a lot. There we go. Ah! What the heck? Forward. Forward. There we go. It actually sticks up out of the rock. Solid there. Solid there. Is this calcium block? Okay. Yes, this is where maybe if we have multiple rails coming in, these guys may be able to feed. No? Okay. It's a bit of a hold up there. So maybe instead, just for now, we can run this guy over to there. And then we can get a nice smooth run of material. Yeah, there we go. That's one train. I think it's a little better set up. Is it possible to get an extendable walkway from like mid to mid? It is. Eh. Okay, got one of those. There he goes. Off into the smelter. And over. We also have the calcium stuff. We need to get over here. It's the furthest. Right, yep. And to the right. Very good. Alright, here comes the calcium blocks. Calcium blocks will go in here. And we're not currently making glass. We're going to save this because we've got something of a system set up. Something of a system. I
It's a little crazy, but it works. Yeah, so we need like a crap load of titanium and other things. Oop. What do we need for this guy? Yeah, so we're making glass right now, so we'll be able to research the glass, which will be sweet. Let's see, I've got titanium or calcium powder here. I actually want glass. Now this should hold glass. Very good. We don't really need calcium powder as much now. We have calcium powder over here. Alright, keep making glass all day long. These guys with their glass. Look at all these guys with that glass. How much glass do we need? That's the other question. It's glass. 100. So we don't need a lot. We need 40 more. I guess we'll see how much glass we make. A little extra doesn't hurt. And then from that, we'll actually have the intermediate building. We'll need to make inductors next, and then the titanium housing. Actually, I think the titanium housing we're still researching, right? Yeah, because we need the beams and the sheets, so we need to really focus on a lot of titanium. Which actually, for that, yeah, that's not sketch or anything. Support pillar. What is that about? Building's not stable. Yeah, you don't say. This is support pillar. Does that work like that? Nope. Gotta be one higher than that. That supports it, right? Perfect. I'm a little curious with this increased damage, how much titanium I can pull from these. It's even worth the damn. To heat up, let's see how fast it pulls. Per. While. You good, Smalls? You good? Okay, well, so far, this is what the factory is looking like. Pretty good setup, I think, to start with. Resource gathering's really limited, so at some point we may have to do extractors, but we'll see. Really trying not to. We're pretty close to actually having that power cell. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, hanging out. Until next time, VeteranGaming.